everyone. This is Nikki Rowland, and I am delighted to be with you at the annual Carers event, giving you a little introduction to scrapbooking. I have a small company called Go Go Getaway that runs scrapbooking retreats and workshops. So I was asked to come along and talk to you about the beautiful hobby that is scrapbooking. And if you're watching this video, that means you probably will have listened to me talk already. So I won't go into details about that, but what I will talk to you about, or what I am showing you here in this video, is how to make a scrapbooking layout. So we've decided to go for an A4 format. 12 by 12 inches is the norm, but lots of people scrap in A4 format as well. Many reasons, mainly because it's cheaper. So we thought we would do a layout that's based on an A4 layout today. So in your pack, you will find a few A4 sheets of white cardstock, and then you will find a big 12 by 12 inch piece of paper. So if you cut that piece of paper, the big one, down to A4 size, use one of your A4 sheets to measure that and draw around it, and then cut it with scissors. Then you just trim that down to A4 size. Then the white piece of card, we're going to trim it down by half an inch on each side, on two sides, sorry, to make that just a little bit smaller than the main gingham edge. And then with the gingham piece, we're going to cut the middle out of that part. I measured 1 inch in from each edge and drew a line and then cut it out with scissors. And that's just so that I can preserve that piece of paper in the middle that I might want to use later. I actually don't use it in this layout, but if you wanted to make another one, then you could maybe use some of the elements that are on there or use the gingham pattern again. I've always been a bit of a thrifty scrapbooker. I like to preserve everything that I possibly can. So in your packs, you'll find some tags that yours might be in a long row of 4 joined together. Cut those into pieces and layer them up. So I've got two and two on the page at the moment. When I'm making the layout, I don't always know exactly how I'm going to lay the layout out. So I try a few different design ideas. So I've got my 2 tags going sideways there and my 1 photo. But I am not going to do that. It's going to be a vertical design in the end with the tags going upwards. So prepare your photo. So at the annual Carers event, you won't have a photo with you. I've used a 6 by 4 inch photo, and I have trimmed it down ever so slightly to 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then I've cut a piece of the spare white card that we have in the kit to 6 inches by 4 inches, so that I have a nice white border on the edge of my photo. That 6 by 4 is the most common photo size. I quite often scrap with smaller photos. Sometimes I scrap with bigger photos. So whatever you can get your hands on generally will work. So I've mounted my photo onto that white border, and I've layered 2 of my tags together and put them in the background. You may have noticed me using my scissors to rough up the edges of different elements. I do that quite a lot. I do it on the edge of the whole layout. I do it on the edge of this yellow piece that I've just cut. I've just cut that yellow piece to 1/4 inch bigger than the photo. So I've made it 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. And just distress the edges of that too. And then you can see me doing it there. I'm just distressing the edges of those tags as well. And then I'm going to layer those 2 together on top of each other. But first, I'm going to tie through with some ribbon. So you've each got a little piece of this black and white gingham in your pack, and you've also got some baker's twine in the black and white as well. So I've just put my ribbon through the tag, and then I'm just going to cut the ends off like that. And I've tied a bow with the baker's twine around the top part, so that first of all, it keeps the ribbon together, and secondly, it looks pretty. So I've done that, and now I've layered the 2 tags together. I'm putting some foam pads in between the 2 tags just at the top. That just gives a bit of dimension, and you have a sheet of foam pads in your kit. I'm going to stick that tag onto the background. My photo is going to sit there. I've got a piece of ephemera. You have a number of different pieces in your packs. We all have similar supplies, although they are all slightly different. So you'll just have to work with what you've got. We all have different colorways as well. So you may not have exactly the same products as me, but you'll have something similar. So you should have a large piece of ephemera. You all should have tags. You'll all have some small hearts. You'll all have a 6-inch by 12-inch piece of paper. That's my yellow piece, etc., etc. So you should all have some kind of title, and you should have a few stickers, a few chipboard pieces. So we've all got roughly the same things, but all slightly different. So I've got pink butterflies. You might have green butterflies. I've got hearts. You might have a small heart instead of a big heart. That kind of thing. So a few differences, but all quite similar. So I've now kind of got most of the things stuck down. I've got my tag stuck in place. I've got that ephemera in place. I've got my photo stuck in place. And now I'm just adding my title. I had 2 words in my pack. So I've got one that says beautiful, and that's a foam sticker, and the word heart is a piece of ephemera and pink, and that is just a flat piece of cardstock basically. So I need to stick that down. So I've done that with foam pads. I've got this butterfly here that's that's not sticky, it's not a sticker, so I have to attach foam pads behind that to stick that down. You could use Pritt stick or glue stick, of course, but I like things on my scrapbook layouts to have lots of dimension. I like them to stand up off the page. The reason for that is that it creates some shadows underneath, and therefore it gives it some nice depth. So rather than everything just being completely flat on the page, I like things to stand out a little bit and just have a bit of dimension. Just adding a few other bits. I've got some stickers here. Some of you will have those same kind of stickers, maybe different colours. Others will have slightly different stickers. So I've got a flower that I'm just popping behind my tags there, and I've added the date sticker over that other sticker that I've got on the right hand side, and then I'm going to write my date onto there. I've just grabbed a fine liner pen, and I'm putting some black lines around the edges of my 3 hearts, just to give them a bit more definition, really. Yeah. And then I'm going to raise all of those 3 hearts up on foam pads. So I've got the big one, which is the bright pink. That's going on first, and then I'm going to layer the other ones, one above and one on top of. Now, that one I'm layering on top of. I've put a little bit of tape or glue on the top right part of the heart, and the other part has a foam pad, so they're all at the same height. Okay, so I'm pretty much done. And one of the wonderful things about scrapbooking is that you can write on these layouts as well. So they're almost like photo albums, but with memories written on them as well. And that's a really great way to preserve the stories behind your photos. Not every photo has a story, but lots of them do. And it would be nice for people looking in the future at your albums to understand what you were doing. So my journaling just reads, we loved searching for the perfect sunflower at the pop-up farm. So there we go. Here's a few close-ups. I finished off with a few splatters of black paint, but you don't have to do that. And I've also put some little enamel dots, which you have in your kit as well. Okay, so I hope that you have enjoyed that session. And my name is Nikki Rowland, and I'm from Go Go Getaway.